Preparations are underway in France for the country's National Day or Bastille Day celebrations tomorrow. Earlier this week, the French Air Force rehearsed its flyover of Paris, but the country continues to deal with widespread riots following the shooting death by police of a teenager late last month. And earlier this week, lawmakers approved a major boost in military spending. We go now to Solene Tadie, European correspondent for EWTN News. Solene, so great to be with you today. So help us unpack what is going on with France right now. I mean, what is the latest with these protests and riots? And also, what is the mood ahead of Bastille Day tomorrow?
Yes, Tracy, the violent riots that have recently taken place in many parts of France began on June 27 with the death of 17-year-old Nahel, a French teenager of Algerian origin who was killed by a police fire after attempting to flee a police control by car. The incident took place near Paris in the city of Nanterre, and that gave rise to a whole week of violence with looting of stores, car sets on fire, buildings damaged, police stations attacked, and so on. According to initial estimates, 3 people have been killed so far, and some 800 police officers were injured. The riots have settled for now, but what I can tell you is that the situation remains extremely tense, especially on the eve of Bastille Day, the celebrations on July the 14th. The government has already announced that an exceptional number of security measures and police forces will be sent all across the territory to try and contain further waves of violence. But for many commentators, France has become such a powder keg that pretty much anything can happen from one day to the next.
It is so very concerning, Solene. I'm curious, in what way, if any, has the church been involved, perhaps maybe to bring down the temperature and bring calm and peace to the situation?
So church representatives in France did not speak out much publicly during the week of rioting, but the French Bishops' Conference offered a prayer for Catholics all across France for the return of peace. And at the same time, the Bishop of Nanterre, where the teenager was killed, Bishop Mathieu Rouget, launched an important joint appeal for calm, dialogue and peace on June 30 with other religious leaders. And this appeal was quickly spread by various other religious representatives to help bring peace in the country. This statement was considered to have had a positive impact insofar as it was supported and spread by local Muslim leaders.
And Solene, quickly before I let you go, the United Nations Human Rights Council yesterday just approved a resolution urging member states to more aggressively, that is, prosecute what they call religious-based antagonism. The proposal passed despite opposition from the United States and also European delegations. Tell us more about this, please, and also the implications of it.
Yes, it was a Pakistani-led resolution on religious hatred following the burning of a Quran in Sweden at the end of June that created such an uproar. Several Western countries indeed were voted against such resolution as they fear future restrictions on freedom of speech, particularly the right to blasphemy that is considered important in the West, and they fear the fact that it risks in somehow legitimizing religiously repressive countries which continue to have blasphemy laws, such as Pakistan. And these laws are indeed considered contrary, incompatible with international human rights conventions.
Solene, thank you so much for that report. We really appreciate it. Solene Tadie, European correspondent for EWTN News. Great to be with you.